Right, so I'm now going to take off the centrifugal regulator. This is the part that actually acts as the clutch as you set off from rest. It's relatively complicated in the way it's plumbed in. It's got a fixed unit here with fixed steel pipes, so it's a little bit involved, and there will be a bit of dribbling of LHS in this instance. So I'll just work through the procedure of just undoing all the various nuts to remove it, and then we can get down to the LHS pump underneath, which we also have to remove. For this is the tensioning bracket for the belt, and there should be a square washer here. There is a square washer, but that's a non-standard washer. I shall be replacing that later. It's normal to find on cars, of course, that have been, which of course they're all several years old, and so it's normal to find that fixings are incorrect or different. But provided they're doing the job, like this one instance, there should be a washer over here. This is going into a rubber bush, and the nut is not able to do its job properly. Not that this is a fault on the owner, of course. This is just the way it is. Not that I'm seeking to criticise, you note. Okay, this would now allow us to slacken the belt. I'm just forcing it down on the pivot, and that's the removal of the drive belt. Right. Yes, that bolt's not in very nicely. I'm going to slacken off the main pivot bolt on the centrifugal regulator, which is 17mm, a large 17mm nuts and a bolt across it. This one has been packed out with washers to space it, but we'll correct that when we do the final assembly. There's a lot of access is, as usual, difficult to get at because it's a citron, sir, and I'm just going to get myself a suitable socket. Now there will be some spillage of hydraulic fluid, even though we've already slackened off the regulator pressure. And as this is LHS, I want to minimize the leakage, because LHS being corrosive will take off paint and is generally not very nice stuff to have all over your car. Oh, yes, okay. There's a few little errors here, which will be corrected on the rebuild. Ooh. Okay. If you've not done this before and you come to take it apart, it is obviously a good idea to take a picture with your modern smartphone before you actually take anything off, thereby making it easy, and you have a reference to rebuild it correctly. This, I will say that this isn't the. I wouldn't look on this one as the way to what the car should look like, because it's slightly incorrect in the way it's been reinstalled. But when we have it rebuilt, hopefully I'll be able to show you the Citroen way of how it would be put together. In this instance, we have several homemade spacers, so such as that one, doing their job, which is fine, but it isn't as Citroen intended. This is me splitting the pipe here. This actually goes down to the clutch lock. And as usual in this, you just need to wiggle them slightly for them to come apart, like that. Okay, we'll put that back onto there. And cut this off the top. And here we now have some dribbling, because I'm allowing air into the top. And I'm dropping a nut. The other vital tool that you always have in any Citroen DS garage is a magnet on a stick. There's probably a part number for Citroen for it. But I'm not too bothered in this instance because we're pulling the engine out and I'll be able to pick up anything I do drop. I'm now releasing the clamps for these return lines, which go back to the reservoir. These are low pressure returns, just essentially not under any pressure, but are a bit stiff. That doesn't want to come off, does it? In theory, that should just lift off, but it doesn't want to. It certainly won't be leaking. So just in order to try and free off the pipe, I'm just going to rotate it there with the pliers, and there we go. And I'm going to lift it, hold it vertically upwards such that any LHS in the pipe will drain into the tank and hopefully not dribble everywhere. I'll just thread it through. There we go. Right, we have another one, which once again might leak a bit. There we go. It's dribbling a little bit. Okay, so we nearly have all of the pipes off, apart from the one going down to the CRC. It's all slightly fiddly. Right, now here we have the centrifugal regulator is now virtually free. I just need to take out the main pivot bolt and catch the spacers as they fall. There we go. There we go, and a spacer has now landed on the floor. Okay, so there's the centrifugal regulator off.